All right, what is good, everyone? Welcome back to today's trade recaps. Ended up taking two trades, that's why recaps. So first trade was on NQ. This is a beautiful 2-minute inversion. Ended up playing out beautifully. And the second trade was on ES. Was a beautiful 3-minute inversion. Open low 9:30 a.m. Judas swing. Got stopped at break even, which is why I tried out the trade on NQ later on. So starting off with the bias. All right, let's go to 9:30. So coming into the day, I was leaning quite neutral, though I was leaning on more on the bullish side. I was a bit neutral though. The reason being, if you just look at this, if you just open up the 4-hour chart, we are between shorts and longs because we are in a really good area for reversal for longs, but we are also in a really good area for continuation shorts. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of open for both. I'm going to let price action do its thing, and then I'm going to decide if I'm going to be looking for longs or shorts. And going into 9:30 open, we sold off and we tapped into this 5-minute fair value gap, discounted fair value gap, and we swept these stack lows. So looking at the displacement we were getting from, like the reaction we were getting from this level, I was like, you know what, we could be bullish towards this unfilled hourly gap. But unfortunately, I could not get an entry on NQ, and ES was more bullish at the time, which is why I took the longs on ES and not on NQ. Entered on the 3-minute inversion, went break even just about here. So yeah, so basically was just going for a 1-to-1, but it got stopped at break even. Literally stops me out of break even and then runs to my TP. But it's all good because the next trade that I caught on NQ was much better. It was more A+ in my opinion. We traded into the hourly gap, and this is something that I love. I love it when this happens, when we get resweeps inside hourly gaps or like any higher time frame fair value gap. So in this case, we traded into an unfilled hourly gap. We trade into it, we leave a high, then we leave a low, and we take out that high again. And now the only thing we need to look out for from this particular point onwards is displacement back to the downside to confirm that this is a manipulation, that this resweep is valid and we are going to be bearish. And once I got that displacement, so technically I could have entered off of this CISD. Ideally, I could have entered off of this. Better risk reward and all of that. But we were still inside this 2-minute gap. But according to my rules, that is still a valid entry. It's just I wanted a strong closure on the 2-minute before I take any trades, before I take my entry. So which is why I waited for the 2-minute get inversed beautifully with really good displacement, really good entry as well. I just went for about a 1-to-1. Got a strong drawn liquidity being the 9:30 open low. And the reason for not targeting this low is simply because this is a protected low because we traded into an hourly gap, like an unfilled hourly gap, and that low has already swept a bunch of sell side liquidity. So the chances of us trading back to that low is quite low. I mean, we could definitely trade to that, but in the moment I was like, there's a good chance we might like just reject from this level and then go back up, which is why I went for about a 1-to-1 rather than risking it and going for this low because it's a protected low. And literally TP in 4 minutes, like 2 minutes, 4 minutes. Really good trade. Love the displacement. Something I realized is when you catch trades like 15 minutes into market open, given you have really good displacement and stuff, the chances of your trade hitting TP is much higher when it's before 10 a.m. if there's good displacement at market open. Like, for example, today, we had a lot of displacement in market open. But yeah, that is that is it for my trade recap. Super simple day, like nothing too much to stress on. The key thing that I realized was don't be married to a bias when you're especially when you are in a situation like this where you're on a really good level to sell off and you're on a really good level to be looking for longs. So in a situation like this, always be neutral and be reactive to the market, just based on displacement, like the amount of volatility we're getting in from key areas. That's how you should be going about your trades. So me personally, I was looking for shorts. only because of the reaction we got from this unfilled hourly gap and like the resweep and all of that. But the overall trend is still high, and I really love the 9:30 open low as my draw on liquidity. And the reason for not taking shots on ES is because simply NQ is a more bearish pair. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching my trade recap. So please subscribe, help me out, and also follow my socials for daily trade recaps, educational content, and free live trading on my Discord as well. Yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to join, but anyway, I'm just going to link it down below. But thank you so much guys for watching, and I shall see you guys tomorrow if I do end up taking any trades.